Hello, Dr. Mtisi, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How's Scotland this afternoon?
Scotland today it's better. It's not windy, but we are talking about 3 degrees in terms of what you call it
Yeah.
temperature. So it's really cold. It's really cold. But thank God, inside it's a bit warm.
No, that's cool, fantastic. Thank you
How is
very much.
Zimbabwe?
Zimbabwe is okay. I wish you could complain about the weather, but the weather is fine. Just that we are trying to acclimatize to being at home and locked down for 21 days.
Yes.
It's something new.
I know it's something new, but this morning I was just doing a morning meditation, and I looked at Nelson Mandela's life. You know, those days, 27 years, there was no internet, no Wi-Fi, no what. So we have just 21 days. So that should help us to be inspired and to actually realize that after all, it's not that hard.
Fantastic. I like those words. Thank you so much. So, to our listeners, today I've got the privilege of being joined by a world-class professional speaker. Her in-depth knowledge and broad experience spans over 16 years. She has coached top organizations, celebrities, executives, and high-profile personalities within and outside Zimbabwe. That's Dr. Fungai Mtisi, the managing director for ImageXchange Grooming Chambers, and she is also a ZBC Talkshow Hostess. Thank you so much for joining me for this podcast.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure having you always.
Fantastic. So my first question is with regards to the definition. We always hear those words being thrown around, grooming and etiquette. What exactly does it entail? What's the definition of grooming and etiquette?
Okay, so those are words which are very common. A lot of people use those words, but the meaning is important in as far as image is concerned. Grooming and deportment, basically, on those two words are together. We are looking at the outside and the inside qualities of a person that we can see. Grooming speaks to the things that we can see about you, and deportment is how you carry yourself. In the aspect of carrying yourself, us as observers or spectators, we cannot touch, we cannot quantify, but we can qualify, we can feel, we can have an experience with you. So deportment is how you carry yourself, the manner that you handle yourself when you are just by yourself, when you are amongst people, and when you are on various environments. For example, let's say you are at a funeral. Deportment is how you carry yourself during that funeral. Say you are attending a wedding, how do you carry yourself at that particular wedding? And when you are just by yourself, how do you carry yourself, which we call personality? What is your personality like? So grooming talks about what we can see. It confirms to what we can see, what we can smell, what we can taste, what we can hear from you. For instance, we can talk about your hairstyle, we can talk about the clothes, we can talk about the texture of your skin, we can talk about your nails, we can talk about the clothes that you're wearing, we can talk about the shoes that you're wearing, and the makeup that you have put on together. In another dimension, grooming also talks to the aspect of converting or training someone to be something. So together, these two words, they talk to the image. They talk about the image of the person. The image of a person is not only those things that we can see, but also those qualities that we can experience, that we can feel when we are with you. So if we talk about image, grooming, etiquette, we are talking about the tangibles and the intangibles that makes up a brand called you, which we call personal branding. So these two terms are very, very critical, and they are very important to each and every human being. Some people talk, when they talk about grooming, they're talking about training. I'm grooming young graduates. It means I'm training the young graduates maybe to become something, some kind of a people, or to become someone. So these terms, they are very critical, but in as far as image consultancy is concerned, we're talking about the looks, how you dress, how you wear, how you carry yourself, the skills that you have, the persona that is in you.
Thank you so much. That's so elaborate. My next question is in relation to the series of podcasts that we're doing. We were talking about
the series
of podcasts that we're doing. This is we have identified grooming as part of the 12 important skills for one to be successful. So please maybe share with us, what is the link between grooming and success?
Okay. Now, it's different. That question is very, very interesting, especially when I'm here in the Europe. But let me address it from an African perspective. See, in Africa, and let me zero it down to Zimbabwe, Mubu. In Zimbabwe, say there's a job, there's a job advert that has been placed in the newspaper or internet or wherever, the employer may be. They put a job advert, say it's a managerial position. They put the qualifications and everything else. The obvious thing is the respondents, they respond to that job calling or that job advertisement. They respond through a CV calling, and eventually are called to attend an interview. So probably if you are called for an interview, it means that maybe your CV qualifies to be shortlisted for that job. Now, when you go in person for the interview, the interviewers try to match what the CV is saying and what you are as a person. There has to be a match. There must be a close relationship that the CV that they are holding and the person they are seeing is one. Now, grooming and development is important because not only your skills, your qualifications, or your capabilities will make you successful when it comes to getting that job. You also need to have a persona, the looks, and the perception from the interviewers that you are the right candidate for the job. Now, let's say the CV is very good, it's so excellent, but the kind of a person who is coming in for the interview doesn't tally with that person. For example, if you are someone who has got a master's degree, you should be someone who knows how to dress well in terms of your shirt, your tie, your suit, shaving yourself, the way you speak, the way you conduct yourself during the interview. Because we're saying master's degree is a high level qualification. So if you show that you are not sure of the expected behavior during the interview, your success is not guaranteed, because now they're not looking at the CV, they're looking at the person. So in African context, we expect to see a person who looks so good, well-dressed, well-spoken, very articulate, conducting him or herself very well, carries himself very well. He knows how to sit, he knows how to greet people, he knows the proper Queen's language. So it's very, very critical that your success is closely linked to how you are dressed and how you carry yourself in general. Then there are some circumstances whereby someone is very successful, they've got money. And remember, Mubu, success is defined by you as an individual. What we can say success may be different to another person. But in general, success, we are talking about money, we're talking about a profession, we're talking about health, we're talking about spiritual life, you're talking about your wealth. Isn't that so? So yes, we have got circumstances where some people have got a lot of wealth, they've got a lot of money, they've started businesses, but sooner or later, it will catch up with you. The grooming and etiquette issues will catch up with you. You'll find that someone will have a lot of money, but they will feel uncomfortable, joining some circles, some networks, because they know that they are not well exposed to those environments. They don't know how to carry themselves, and they don't know what to do and what to say. They are not well spoken. I've seen some executives, senior executives, who are even scared to give a presentation, to give a speech. So your success is closely linked to the grooming and deportment issues. Then there are issues where we see some people who dress so well, they are very articulate, well-spoken, but they are not educated. But because of how they dress themselves, how they speak, and in the manner they handle themselves, you find that a lot of people want to be associated with those people. They network with very good people, very good networks, and one way or the other, through those networks, they are navigated into success because they are mingling with the right people who also like them, because they are well dressed, they are clean, and they are well spoken and well articulate. So I would say to a greater extent, grooming and deportment issues are key to your success. And at the end of the day, as ImageXchange, we've got a tagline where we say confidence is key to success. If you are confident, if you are polished, if you are well dressed, if you handle yourself in a manner that defines you as someone who is outstanding, who is different, then your success is closely linked to that. Let me zero it down to someone who is at high school. I always like to give that example of a high school child. At high school, what makes some children selected to be prefects and some not? What is it that they don't only look at the academics of the student? They look at how they carry themselves, how they dress themselves, how they conduct. Do they have this spirit of helping other students? Do they have this spirit of just being people who help other people, they host other people, they help teachers? They've got the leadership qualities in them, the way they carry themselves. They carry themselves as mature adults. And at the end of the day, you find someone being selected out of a school with 4,000 students, or maybe even 1,000 or 400, 600. You find one boy, one girl being appointed as the head girl and the head boy. Why? Because they've got these skills, these intangible skills. You can see it, you can feel it, and it can be confirmed by the way they dress themselves, the way they speak. And at the end of the day, they land themselves with this title, head girl, head boy. So in any environment, whether it's church, whether in the community, whether it's school, whether at work, you should thrive and try as much as possible to look good, dress well. It's not about wearing expensive clothes, but it's about putting the right clothes, the right accessories, right colors, right sizes, in a manner that makes people dignify you. And at the end of the day, your success comes easily because people thought you think, or they will perceive you as someone who is fit to take that position, to lead them, to coordinate them, and just, to be a team player. So your success is guaranteed because already the looks and how you carry yourself confirms that you are heading for success. So success is very critical, and grooming and deportment is very critical to your success.
Wow. Okay. So here's the thing. Maybe my background could have played me at disadvantage with regards to my grooming and etiquette issues. But you know what? Now, after listening to this podcast, I realize and understand that I should push up that side of things and get on point. What kind of grooming and etiquette tips would you give to people in general, which you think could assist them to move on to maybe at least an understandable stage, something that's which word can I use? But I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, I do. Remember earlier on, I said grooming and deportment it's not about wearing expensive clothes or labels, Gucci, Versace, this and that. It's about sticking to the basics in a consistent and continuous manner. Number one tip that I can provide to the people is that make sure that your dental health or your dental care is on check. There is nothing which is annoying like having a conversation with someone with bad odor which comes from the mouth. Kunua mkanwa chako chako, if I can use our vernacular. So that's a number one put off. Even if you are not talking to someone, but the fact that they are sitting next to you and that is coming out of their mouth, that's number one. You may be poor, you may not have money, you may not have a good CV, but make sure that your oral health is always on point. There are people who have got a very disgusting smell coming from the mouth. And a lot of people think it's if I just brush my teeth, then that odor should not come out. Actually, it's a medical condition called halitosis. So you find that if you are sitting next to someone with that, sometimes they don't know about it, or sometimes they know about it and they have no idea about it. Please tell them or encourage them to visit the dentist. It's called halitosis. It's actually a medical condition, just like the way your stomach can ache or your eyes or your ear. Also, the mouth can have that bad effect. So number one, make sure that your oral health is good. A lot of people have got medical aid, and the medical aid allows you within 6 months to go for a free dental checkup. So always make sure that you do that. If you don't have, always have someone who can tell you the truth, like your friend, your sibling. Always test the scent which comes from your mouth. Always. That's number one. Number two, make sure that your hair is well manicured or well shaved. Any hair on your face, in your head, make sure it's well manicured all the time. Make sure that your skin looks good. You look clean throughout the body, but your skin looks good. And the secret to having a beautiful skin is to consume lots of water. If you drink lots of water, they say 70% of our skin is water. So if you drink lots of water, you find that your skin can become better and good. And because your skin looks good, your hair is well manicured, your mouth odor, your mouth smell is good, or you've got an oral health, naturally a person or anyone would be inclined, or they enjoy talking to you, because those are the things that they interact with when they are talking with you, or talking to you. So those are the basics: skin, your mouth, and your hair. The next, make sure that you are looking good, you're smelling good, your clothes are clean. I've seen people, I have sometimes dress myself in good clothes, but sometimes I don't even wear perfume. But the natural odor, the natural body scent which you have is not disgusting such that the other person will be uncomfortable with you. So make sure that your clothes very clean, well-fitting. Also, the other thing that I would encourage people, especially men, just try to wear conservative colors, especially if you are attending, business functions. Do not wear very bright colors. In fact, bright colors. If you wear a bright color, it could be white or maybe sky blue or some business or professional colors. Avoid all these colors that way, especially varume. Sometimes I see men wearing a purple shirt, a lilac shirt, turquoise blue, orange. Those colors, they're not good for a man. The first time you put on those colors, we're like, wow, this is beautiful. The second time, like, the third time, shirt uniform, So white for men is always good, and black, navy blue, maybe sometimes gray. Always make sure that you wear conservative colors. Then shoes, let's say in a formal setup, make sure that your shoes are very clean, especially men who do not drive. If you don't have a car, it's not a crime. One day you have your car, but make an effort maybe to carry your laptop bag, or your briefcase, where you also just find a small brush to just clean your car or your shoes, so that you always look on point. If you're a man, we look at your shoes. If you're a lady, make sure that your shoes, again, they are good. I always like working with basics. A simple black shoe, 3/4 heel if you are a woman. If you are a man, like laced up shoes, or these designer shoes which are coming, they are also fine. But just make sure that you try as much as possible to be clean. Then the next thing is that I would encourage a lot of people, especially in Zimbabwe, to practice speaking in English, even when you're at home, when you're just by yourself with your friends. There's nothing disgusting and embarrassing like, if someone is speaking or maybe using broken English, or their skill in terms of using the Queen's language is not very good. Try as much as possible to read, listen to news. You can download an application called TED Talks on your phone so that you also listen to other people speaking. Then you coach yourself to speak. There is nothing embarrassing like an executive failing to pronounce simple English words wrongly, in as much as a second language, but try as much as possible to be good at it. And maybe one takeaway for ladies, always make sure that your handbags are clean. A lot of ladies, they are reluctant just to throw things in their handbags. But one day your handbag will embarrass you. Like sometimes you open your handbag, the smell which is coming there, and things are just all over in your bag. Try to minimize that. Try to organize your bag in such a manner that, even if something goes wrong, you will not be embarrassed with your own bag. And for men, make sure that you don't put a lot of things in your pocket. I've seen bulging pockets for men. Do not try to buy a small, slim wallet that you can put in your pocket. Things like a phone and things like that. Try to avoid to put a lot of things in your pockets as a man. Above all, be yourself. Do not try to be someone else. Be original and authentic as much as possible. People who adjust to the personality that you have, to the person that you are, and try as much as possible to evaluate yourself and see what are some of the bad manners that you have. Usually your friends and your siblings, your sisters, your relatives will give you a signal, and sometimes they can even tell you that I don't like the way you do this. It's actually a feedback which you are given for free there. So try as much as possible to just check for those things that annoy people. The more you do that, the more you close the knowledge gap, what you know and what other people know about you, and they can actually or easily channel you or navigate you into the expected because you've got these wrong behaviors. For example, I'll give you an example. There are people, it's better if you're a woman, but if you're a man, who if they just maybe get into the kitchen, of it could be a friend or work colleague, if there's some juice or some food or some snacks, they'll just start to eat before being served, and they will not even bother if other people have eaten. They'll just eat until all the food is finished. And sometimes people will not tell you, but you can see that people are not happy. Every time you get into the kitchen, it could be an office kitchen where there's some orange juice, and you consume all of it. Just wait and just ask simple words. Can I please have this? Has anyone eaten? Can I please go ahead? Is this reserved for some people? And can I please have this? Simple mannerisms like that. Some people actually need to be taught about these things. So always do a reference check and find out what is it that you're doing that people do not like. And the more you listen to this feedback, the more you become a better person, and the more people find it easy to network and netweave with you.
All right. My last question for you, I understand you're busy and you want to move on to something else. Do you have any last advice or words that you'd like to add on top of what you have shared with us today?
Yes, my last words, they are actually in two categories. The first one is to just address the image issues. I've realized, okay, now that I'm in Europe, I'm here in Scotland, I see the way we do things in Zimbabwe is different from here. People here have got this spirit of encouraging one another. They are so simple. You see a lawyer with a lawyer who has been practicing, say for 40 years. They go to work by bus. they use public transport, they walk, yet they have got a very, you know, maybe a Range Rover parked at their house, but they are so humble, very humble, such that they are ordinary. The things that we worry about sometimes when we're in Zimbabwe are totally different from the things happen here in Europe. Yet in Europe, things are so easy. Things are so easy. You know, roads, there are no potholes. Buses are so clean. I have a privilege of, you know, accessing Wi-Fi in the bus and things like that. But people here, they are so encouraging. They encourage one another. They don't have this pull down, pull her or him down mentality. People encourage you. They are as simple as I don't know. I can't even explain it. I actually had difficulties the first days to adjust because I'm so used to if you're going for a business seminar and you dress to kill and you go there, you expect everyone to know that this Dr. Mtisi is here and things like that, which is different from home. Home people are so competitive, and some people, they pull each other down. You know what? At the end of the day, we are all human beings. Each and every person has got a different hustle. We are so important. Each and every person is very important in their own hustle or in their own line of work. If you are an engineer, if you are a plumber, if you are a housemaid, if you are a gardener, you are important, you are special. If no one else can provide that service that you are providing, it means you are important. In that profession, just focus on how you can become better, how you can encourage the next person. We can all not do one job. We can all not we can't be teachers, all of us. We can't be lecturers. We can't be doctors, all of us. We can't be lawyers. But the uniqueness in us is defined by the jobs that we do sometimes. So let's continue to encourage one another. Let's leave this competitive spirit, which is negative. You know, you always want to see that I'm now driving a better car than so and so. You know, it's not important. I've seen here rich people who are rich, filthy rich, but they stay in an apartment. But back home, we look at ourselves and maybe we judge one another. This person is staying in an apartment, in a flat. What is that? We're expecting them to have a big house. So you know what? Your happiness, your success is you who can define it. If you find it fit to stay in an apartment, it's okay. If you find yourself traveling with public transport, it's okay. You know what you want in life. You know, as long as it's convenient for you, as long as it's not a hassle for you, it's still fine. Let's not compete. Let's just encourage one another. And the second one is about the coronavirus. Here I am near a hotel. Ambulances, the way ambulances are up and down is actually scared. I'm even scared to open the window. Coronavirus, the COVID-19, it's real. People here are dying like mapete, like ants. People are dying ngemashoshe and kwanise kuzvitaura. Let's comply. Let's stay at home. They say this coronavirus, the only way that that can minimize the social distancing, in as much as it's so frustrating to be in your house all the time. Be creative in your house. Be creative. Find something to do. Try as much as possible. If you are traveling, don't try to cheat people and say, no, I will not go into self-quarantine. If you have traveled, maybe you're traveling, make sure that you quarantine yourself for 14 days. Make sure that you don't you don't maximize the opportunities of someone, you know, catching this COVID-19. Let's stay at home. Let's comply. This thing is deadly. It's a pandemic. So if people in Europe are dying with all the resources which they have, what more in Zimbabwe, where we actually struggle to immunize children or to actually give the basic care, the basic medical care? Let's comply and remember to pray. God is the only person who can bring a stop to this COVID-19. We are important, we are special, and let's utilize this time to love one another. And thank you so much for being creative and coming up with this podcast. People have something to listen to. I'm one person who doesn't really like to run with technology, but now I'm doing the Zoom meeting, I'm doing this and that, and it's really occupying my time. Thank you so much. May God bless you, and please don't stop.
Thank you so much for the kind words, Doctor. I will continue. Then this the main purpose of this podcast series was to trigger the thought and for people to take some of these skills seriously. However, after this, a lot of people might want to engage with you for your services. And I understand you wrote a book on your image, and some other people would want that. And through ImageXchange Grooming Chambers, you also take some membership. You've got some membership-based consultancy that you do. How can people get in touch with you and benefit from these services?
Good. The easiest is to maybe send me a message on Facebook, Dr. Fungai Mtisi. You will see all the details there, my email address, my phone number. Use the Zimbabwe one, 0719711174. It's also on the Facebook. Or just search Dr. Fungai Mtisi on internet, LinkedIn, you'll find my numbers. If you are a techie person, if you are on social media, you access me so easily. Or if you want to write an email, fungai.mtc@gmail.com. I'm avoiding the ImageXchange email because the underscore and things like that, people usually get it wrongly. So the Gmail one is fungai.mtc. Fungai without a Y, and Mtisi is Mtisi, not Mutisi.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Doc. Enjoy the rest of your stay in Scotland. Please be safe. We need you back home in Zimbabwe.
Thank you very much. May God bless you. And please stay at home.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.